Hello, hello. How is everybody this evening? Did I post that? Let me just look at that. Yep. Hello and welcome. Post. Yep. Go back and come in here. Right. So we're live. So I'm if you can let me know in the comments when you join. Just put this volume down a little bit on this phone. Please say hello when you join. Arrive. Beautiful. Okay, so tonight we have essential oils and pain and discomfort. And we've had a bit of I'm Lee Skeed. I'm part of Attila Motyan's team, and Attila spends half his year in Sydney and the other half in Europe. And so somewhere along the line he will join us, though not in a presentation situation, because he's juggling not a 1-year-old, a couple of 9-month-old. So in my household, we've endured a little bit of pain. Hubby has titanium rods in his lower back, and so in reducing the amount of drugs, the oils have supported heaps. And because we are inclined to live life in our family, let me just move that to here so you can see me as well. We live life to the fullest, so we've endured a few broken bones and aches and pains and some stress along the way. And so, yes, we've learned a little bit about how to use the essential oils for pain management, and I want to share that with you tonight. So, actually, I might keep myself there because sometimes I like to show you different things. But a bit of homework, or if you could let me know in the chat that who you are and who's on, because otherwise it gets a bit lonely here. And excuse all the noise in the background. I work from home and we've just been feeding the tribe. So a question for you: what's chronic pain? Out of a 0 to 10, please rate the pain in the following categories. Is it chronic pain? It's just part of your daily life, like hubby's spinal pain is. Is it an emotional pain? So the heaviness is real. And then also between 1 and 10, where do you rate it? Or occasional pain. So my lower back is what I call occasional pain. So sometimes it hurts and I do a few stretches and that usually fixes it up. Whereas hubby's lower back pain, even though he's had surgery, is chronic because it's there all the time. So can you put in the comments which one you're experiencing and give it a rating between 1 and 10? That would be awesome. Okay, let's have a look at this next one. So which body systems need the most support? So you could put that, so it could be your physical body, it could be your muscle body, it could be your skeleton body. Can you put your name in as well? Because it doesn't let me know when you're a Facebook user, it doesn't let me know who you are. So thanks for whoever shared chronic pain as an 8. Actually, let me look. No, must be on Attila's page. So is it a skeletal problem or a muscle problem, a digestive problem or an emotional problem, or is it head tension, or is it gut issues? Because we can have pain in all of those different areas. And this is where I love doTERRA's wellness pyramid as a way to support us. Hello, Annette. Woohoo. I'm super excited you're there. Lovey, that is awesome. That's made my day. So this pyramid, as you can see down the bottom, the biggest part is in eating right. So when we're eating processed foods, if we're drinking a lot of alcohol, a lot of coffee, a lot of things that make our body inflamed, then that's going to increase the inflammation in our body and increase our discomfort. So by eating lots of salads and veggies, that can alkalinize our body and reduce the inflammation in our body. Back in our grandparents' day, infection was their biggest concern, whereas in our era, the biggest concern is inflammation, because of our diet, because of the stress we're under as well, that, we're only designed to have stress for a couple of hours maximum, then stop running away from that big scary animal, have a big deep breath, and then our body floods itself with healing hormones. But most of us are stressed, not just for a couple of hours, but for days and weeks and years. And that just wears us down, and that creates inflammation, or it creates acidity in our body, which creates inflammation. So help yourself by eating right. Exercise, half an hour a day, 5 times a week, really keeps things going. One of the best ways of detoxing your liver is through exercise. So a brisk walk, or I ride a bicycle, and so getting my heart rate up to about 80% more than what your resting heart rate is. So for me, my resting heart rate, let's say it's 70, because I need easy maths. So 80% of that is 126. So I usually ride my bike around at 120 beats per minute. And rest and managing stress, that is just super important, because 100% of all ailments start out as a stress. And if we can reduce that stress, or not take the stress away, but reduce how we react to it, that really helps our body. And this is where the Lifelong Vitality Pack, that picture there, the trio, is just brilliant. So for any ailment you have, the Lifelong Vitality Pack can really support you. The VMZ supports is our minerals and our vitamins, and that's like the bricks. When you're building a house, the structure, they're the bricks that if we don't have enough of them, then the house is all crumbling. The omega oils help with our joints and our brain and our hormones and just everything. And even I'm struggling with, my blood pressure is quite high at the moment, even though I do all the right things. But a fair bit of that probably comes from stress, and then that's impacted my gut. And so I'm looking at fixing up my gut. But also one of the things they recommend is the omega oils help with keeping that, managing that blood pressure. And then the alpha CRS supports every cell in our body. So we're just made up of trillions of cells, and that is just super important. So, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee on them. So, you can try them. Where's the camera? You can try them, and if you don't feel better in 30 days, you can send them back and get your money back. So there's no risk at all. So let's have a look. Chronic pain. So what the heck is chronic pain? And or how does Lifelong Vitality support us with chronic pain? It helps in that oxidative stress. So we you think we're flesh, but we're actually a bit like a vehicle. If there's no paint on us, then we start to rust. So if we don't have the right things, then we start rusting, and that causes a whole bunch of problems. The lifelong vitality supports our bone health with calcium, magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D. Vitamin D is super essential to help the metabolizing of these others. And most of us, because of that slip, slap, slop thing a couple of years ago, we don't get enough vitamin D from the sun. Stress causes disease in our body and manifests as a physical disease. Spot on, lovely. So good to see you on here tonight, Joe. There's two others that are on that I haven't. You haven't let me know who you are. You're being secretive. Come on, let me know. And also for chronic pain, the lifelong vitality helps to support our joint function and bring about a comfort in our joints. Emotional pain, she supports our mental clarity. That's a big thing that so many people, that once they're on the lifelong vitality, they say that their brain fog has gone, that their brain works better, their memory works better. And why? Because it provides a range of omega-3 fatty acids for our gut and our cognitive support. So there is a big connection between our gut and our brain and our gut and emotions. Our gut is the ruler of what goes on. Hello, Kimboto. Woohoo. And I take it the other one is Tracy because it has a palm tree in it. And also the lifelong vitality protects against lipid oxidation, supports a healthy function of our brain, our eyes, and our nervous system. And it supports us with occasional pain because it has that powerful foundation of vital minerals and vitamins that keep our body performing at peak performance. So I don't know like what you're like, but I'm a bit greedy. I just want to feel good all the time and to live life, to be able to do whatever I want to do. And that's why I love the lifelong vitality. Just supports me in so many areas. And it gives us optimal nutrition and protects our body and gives us a speedy recovery. My mother-in-law, I have her on the lifelong vitality, and she was saying, oh, I don't think it's doing anything for me. I went, okay, I won't order them this month. This is about 2 years ago. And then after a while she said, can you make sure I never run out of those? Because her aches and pains were back. She didn't like how her emotions were going. She didn't like the brain fog that had come back. And sometimes we do need to go off it to realise how it really is helping us. And these are the foundation of my order every month for our family as well as mother-in-law. But also so many people tell me they add this in to is part of their food budget because we are not getting as many minerals and vitamins and omega oils from our diet as our grandparents did because of the way things are farmed. So let's have a look at, we can go to the chemist or the doctor and get prescription medication for pain. But did you know that the pain medication, and this was a big challenge for Brian, my husband, in finding the right balance between minimizing his pain and having his brain working. And in doing that, there were lots of times when his brain wasn't clear enough to go driving, and they cause a lot of deaths. They're considered safe by teenagers, so they consume way more than they should, gives a false sense of euphoria, and then often we go and hurt ourselves. So we're better off being able to feel the pain, but without the severity of that brilliant feeling that the drugs can give our brain. withdrawal symptoms. On some of the packets of what Brian's had, it says don't stop instantly, otherwise you could die. It's like, yay, how positive is that? And who just messaged me? Right. Whereas you could also end up with insomnia, leg spasms, vomiting, diarrhea, cold spasm. That's when Brian missed some of his medication one night. He ended up in hospital with vomiting and diarrhea. And how they worked out that it wasn't vomiting and diarrhea was that it wasn't a bug that caused that, but that he had missed his medication was because he didn't have a temperature. They're often overprescribed, and that causes a whole bunch of things. And then some of them are designed for short term, but people are left on them long term. Gut issues. Gut issues are the biggest one that they cause. Constipation, bloating, nausea, and lead to a really unhealthy gut. Tips for weaning off the pain meds. So we're very much, doTERRA's very much let's work with the doctors and the medical system. So what you do is start using the oils, and then the doctor can check what's going on and let them reduce your medication rather than you just going, oh, okay, I'm using oils now, I'll stop the other. Because lots of times you do need to be weaned down from them. So, hello, what happened then? Increase your water intake. That's a good way of flushing things out, adding grapefruit or lemon oil with them. But also replace the habit. Taking 10 deep breaths is great. Take a walk, get fresh air, drink water, and form new neuro pathways. And I'll go into that a little bit more later on. Take the LLV and any additional supplements, and I'll share some of those, but also change your environment so that life is a bit easier. So we're going to go through each of these, and they're a bit hard to see like that, so let's go look at them one at a time. So I'm going to go through all of these, but the basis for each one, whether it's joint, muscle, emotional, digestive, or head tension, the basis is your lifelong vitality. So any questions, remember, just put them in the comments, please, lovelies. So joint pain, turmeric, the deep blue, the ice blue rud, or deep blue as it is in US and Europe, and also the deep blue polyphenols, which we get out of the US. So I'm just going to share a bit of info with turmeric because she's just the most phenomenal oil, and but also with you're looking at the capsules, I want to go. So just before then, turmeric actually repairs individuals physically, mentally, and emotionally. She's just brilliant, and she has powerful properties that reach the damaged and blocked aspects of ourself to restore what was temporarily lost. If you feel weighed down due to personal tragedies or loss, and helps restore our faith in goodness. And then if I look at Dropley, I need oils. I've got oils. Turmeric. So I'm actually going to read about the turmeric capsules because just amazed me. Because the turmeric capsule has actually turmeric, the powder in the middle, and then the oil. So that really helps our body to digest the turmeric and assimilate it. And capsules combine turmeric essential oil and turmeric extract to maximize the benefits of both compounds for healthy inflammatory response. It's derived from a plant that's a member of the ginger family and is key in the traditional Ayurvedic medical practices. And she supports digestion, metabolism, cellular activity, and the normal function of the nervous and immune system. So she is just a really good one to have in your everyday diet. And I started out really loving the oils, but I'm really growing more and more all the time to using the capsules. Just maybe my life has got busier and it's just easier for me to take a capsule. But also there are very different benefits for taking something in a capsule than putting it on topically. A lot of times when you take things in a capsule, it works on the central nervous system. And because I happen to live a life a bit too full sometimes for my body, that central nervous system needs a lot of support. The deep blue rub, or the ice blue rub as it is in Australia, is great for rubbing. If you're hurting in a certain area, just rub it on topically. I also use it. It's the soothing blend. So it helps us look at the cause of what's causing that inflammation, that pain. And so if I have head tension, I'll use it on my head. I've used it on my lower back before I go driving, just to keep everything supple and working right. And I've also used it on my tummy if there's something going on there. Because it's the soothing blend, we can use it for so many different things. Then we have the this deep blue polyphenol, which we get from the States. So we're already shopping online. So adding that, doing an order from over there is just another step. She provides a natural support for aching muscles, sore joints, and other occasional discomforts. The polyphenols are found in green tea, resveratrol. Resveratrol comes from a few different things, but the one I'm most common with is that granular substance that's left in the bottom of your red wine glass. Also from grape juice, pomegranate juice. They all provide a powerful antioxidant power, and that helps to reduce that inflammation. So in that, and that's a capsule. In there's turmeric root, there's green tea leaf extract, there's pomegranate, grape, the resveratrol, and tummy taming blend. And that's brilliant for, I remember somebody taking a bunch of them the day after they'd done a boot camp, and he had taken a few of these about half an hour beforehand, then he could run up the steps, whereas normally he'd be slothing around on the lounge in pain from doing the boot camp. So we've used these for physical discomfort, but also when the cellular health in their people's body is breaking down. So if you Google polyphenols and learn how many uses there are for polyphenols, you just will gain a whole new respect for them. Turmeric, once again, because she's just amazing for so many different others. So if you don't have the capsules, you could buy some turmeric powder or curcumin powder and the turmeric oil and put those together. Won't be the same as powerful because doTERRA's so focused on purity and potency that the turmeric that we buy commercially around the place just isn't of that same standard as what doTERRA will access. So next is copaiba. Copaiba comes from a resin from trees in Brazil, and I was just looking for her main chemical. Okay, doesn't want to show me. But she is great for teenage issues on their skin, and also if we have anxious feelings, also if our joints or muscles are feeling quite inflamed, and if we have a lot of discomfort. She's also antibacterial, antiseptic, antioxidant, and a stimulant to the circulatory system. She's also been approved by the Australian government because she's powerful to help people with UTIs. So if you've got anything that relates to bladder or kidney, then copaiba is the one, and the capsules are available in Australia. She's just so good for so many of our body systems that she's just amazing. So she helps with our respiratory system, also our bladder kidney system, as I was talking about before, helps with our digestive system and nervous system, just supports them brilliantly. And also our cardiovascular system and our skin. So are there any other systems left that this copaiba doesn't look after? And then the next one is marjoram. I have a love affair with marjoram. She's just magic. And once again, she just works on so many of our body systems. She's great for reducing physical discomfort, but she also helps us to feel, she promotes peace and sleep, helps us emotionally. If you've been poisoned, marjoram can help combat that. If you need fluid to move around in your, say in your legs or somewhere, rub the marjoram on. If you're having muscle spasms, put marjoram on. Bruises, great to rub over your liver on the right-hand side at the bottom of your rib cage to support the health of them. But also if you've got skin issues such as, boils, she just works brilliantly for that. And then once again for the muscles, you got the ice blue rub. The ice blue rub is just one of the best things on the planet. I would say LLV number 1 is the best thing on the planet, and the ice blue rub number 2. Okay, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this. Can somebody let me know if I go there? Can you actually? No, that would have lost it. So let me just check on Facebook that I haven't lost you all because I'm fiddling here. Okay, it's gone back to there. No, if you want to take down that name, that YouTube, and watch. Actually, if I go here, can we still see? No, I lose you there. Right. I would have to change screens. Let me see if I can do. Let me see if I can go. No. What I would like you to do is oh yeah, that's a point too. Tracy's just shared with me that Ice Blue converted her partner to the oils, and that is actually often the way we have men really enjoying the oils. Because men, at first, I would just encourage the men to use the Ice Blue and then the capsules, because men don't like fuss. Women are a bit more tolerant. But maybe I'm becoming more boyish because, now I like all the supplements. So, or if you can Google afterwards, Dr. David Hill, copaiba versus CBD, it is actually very amazing video to watch. Okay, so now we're going to have a look at emotional pain. So have any of you, can you comment, let me know, have you used the adaptive range? Or 2 of the adaptive range or 3 of the adaptive range? I have become a bit addictive. I thought I was pretty cool, calm and collected and laid back. But I've realised, really tuning into my body lately, that I stress a little bit more than I thought. And I haven't actually tried those capsules. They're on their way because, as I mentioned, the capsules work more on our, what do you call it, central nervous system. And whereas I've been diffusing this one and rubbing it on the back of my neck, my spine, to make sure I stay calm. Because once you start getting a bit stressed or anxious, that affects your gut health, and that's just not good. And emotional stress, a mate of mine had gone to Brisbane. The whole family had gone down for somebody's 21st or something like that. And she had been so busy the day before getting everything ready and then partying. And next morning she was curled up in a fetal position, really emotional. And then hubby sort of said, well, hang on, you've got every oil under the sun. Can't we use something like that to help you out? And then she went, oh, no, I haven't had any of my adaptive range. So she popped a couple of capsules, put the oil on the roll of the tall, narrow one, and then put the other one, the diffuser, and in half an hour she's back socialising with everybody. So somebody's gone here sometimes. Oh, okay. So awesome, Tracy. Okay, let's see what's the next one. Okay. Oh, so adaptive is so good that there's even this. Hang on, did I jump the gun? I did. Oh, got a bit excited there. I did. So elevation is, I didn't like the smell of elevation to start with. She was just a bit sickly. But she's an oil of a very high vibration. So when you're needing to be uplifted out of whatever's stressing you, elevation is a great one to put in the diffuser. But I also will rub her on the back of my neck. I'm a bit attached to also rubbing stuff on my ankles and my feet. So whereas you usually would put a tree oil or balance or something on your feet to ground you, sometimes, I don't know, I just like it there. So it's floral, it's woody, it's herbaceous, it's citrusy, and it's a bit sweet. And it was a bit too sweet for me at first, but I really like her now. And she contains lavender, amorous, clary sage, tangerine, lemon myrtle, melissa, lang lang, osmanthus, and Hawaiian sandalwood. And she's also very good for tummy upsets. And for the emotions that she works really well with is if you've encountered some abuse, you have anxious feelings, or really low mood, or you need an energy boost, or if you've been through some grief or some sorrow. Also postpartum depression. So if you know of somebody who's just had a baby and they're a bit down, give their feet a massage with that or rub their shoulders. And it's all she's very calming. She also helps with weight loss as well. Rub over the heart, the ears, the neck, the thymus, which is here, chest. I just realised you can't see. Temples, across the brow and on your wrists. And apply on your heart reflex point. So that's like the middle of your chest towards the bottom of your rib cage there. Put it in the bath water as well. Use as a compress. Dilute with fractionated coconut oil for a full body massage. Oh, I think I like that. And I often wear it as a perfume, or guys could wear it as a cologne. And I rub it over my heart when I do that. Use it as a perfume. You can also put it in the dryer. Put on a wet cloth and put it in the dryer just to make it smell beautiful. But remember, it's got some citrus oils in it. So when you're wearing it on your skin, make sure it's where the sun can't shine on as well. So I'll often put mine here under my hair or down the middle of my back under my skin or over my heart. So they're all spots that don't get the sunlight too often. Next is a diffuser. And diffusers are great. Lots of times I see diffusers as ways to purify the air. But secretly, us women who are just witches, we are mood modulating for the whole family. And that's my son's in his second year apprenticeship, and there are a couple of interesting things that go on at work. So I'll put that diffuser on, and I'll either put the adaptive in it or the elevation in it, or even the frankincense, because the frankincense is the oil of truth. She's the king of oils and just helps with calming us. And what I love to do with the frankincense, more than putting her in the diffuser, is to put a drop on my thumb and put it under my tongue or to the roof of my mouth, so it gets into that circulatory system of my head and gets to the glands where my emotions come from, and just helps calm them down. Helps me look at, being the oil of truth, it probably lets me get past the crap, the stinking thinking, when you get on those loops and you're making a problem bigger than it is. It helps you to get past that and get to see the real thing of what's going on. So Frankie Baby, as we often call her, is great for emotional balance, supports our immune system and our nervous system. And I like to add it to my moisturiser, because any of the woods, so frankincense, myrrh, that'll do for starters, they're really good for the deep layers of our skin, whereas the florals are great for the surface of our skin, keeping us looking young and beautiful. So if you've got stiff joints, dilute the frankincense and rub on those joints. If you have really low moods, then apply it neat to your temples or your forehead, or dilute it with a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil and get somebody to massage you. If you go off to a massage therapist, take your frankincense and your fractionated coconut oil and get them to use that. And then if you have inflammation, mix 3 drops of frankincense and 2 drops of lavender in a bowl of cold water, dampen a face cloth, and then apply it to that affected area. So if my wrist was cranky, I'd put that cloth onto here. Once it warmed up, I would do that again. So that's 3 drops of frankincense and 2 of lavender in a bowl of cold water, and dampen a face cloth and then apply to that area for 15 to 30 minutes. Actually, that would be a superb, add them to your bath. Add them to the salt and then put them in the bath. That way they disperse in the water and they're not going to get on the soft bits when you jump in. That would be just super duper relaxing. Okay. Adaptive is so powerful that it has its own adaptive testimonials and discussion group with nearly 20,000 members. So jot that down and go in and have a look, and just it's changed so many people's lives. So many people that have got this sort of thing going on, and they can use the adaptive, and you can just see in the video that everything settles down. But also for emotions, it's just amazing how it just helps us to calm down. And it's called adaptive too because it helps our us adapt our thinking to look at stress a different way so it has less impact on us. Digestive pain. I've been doing a lot with people with gut health. That's my gut health and emotions, because they link together, are my passion. So I work with a lot of people helping them with their gut health, because there's basically, say, 5 different gut types. 4 of those come from foods that you've been eating and that don't work well with your gut. And this other one is based on stress. And so I find so many times, if we can use the pterozyme, which are enzymes that help break our food down, so even veggie fibres, the meats, the grains, the dairy, that it helps us to break them down, and for straight away that starts calming the gut health down, because you're not having this basically undigested food happening around. Then probiotics. So I use the PB Assist and also kombucha. I've got kombucha and water in here, but also things like kimchi and sauerkraut, but make sure it's made in Australia, because I need to check, but I have heard that when we import stuff, it's radiated, so then all that good bacteria is killed off. So bacteria in the gut, but also if you have some and then you feel crooked, it probably means that you're suffering from SIBO, small intestinal bacteria overload, and it's usually the bad bacteria. So I can help you work through that. Digestin is just brilliant. Most of you will have used Digestin. So if you've eaten too much, you've eaten the wrong food, you're emotionally traumatized, Digestin helps us to digest our emotions as well. She's brilliant for helping improve our gut health. Tamer is the kids' version of it, and she has peppermint in it. She has spearmint in her, and that's much gentler and just brilliant. And it's the kids can just rub it on themselves. Next to the peppermint caps, soft gels, which at this stage are available from America, and peppermint has both peppermint and digestions, and there's studies out where both of them have helped people heal their leaky gut issues. So peppermint's great for everything gut health as well, but also the other one you can get, and I don't have any there, other little, in Australia you can get the little peppermint beadlets. The beadlets are a third of a drop, whereas this is a bigger size. But if you've got gut issues, book a time with me and we can go through and create a plan. We'll find out what's going on in your gut and then work out what's right, because the different types of gut health, so a candida gut, there's candida gut, toxic gut, anyway, 5 different types. And it's interesting that each group has certain emotions that they're more prone to, and that's part of what causes that gut issue and that gut type as well. Next one, head tension. So we've seen the copaiba before, and remember she works on so many different parts of different body systems. So sometimes we have head tension, but it actually comes from our gut, or we have head tension because we're stressing and it's of emotional origin. And that's where copaiba is just brilliant for helping with that. And she's the oil of unmasking. So she helps us unmask the emotions that are going on, or even gently unmask the ancient crap that we carry around with us in here. so that we can heal and let go of a lot of limitations. Next is frankincense, and she's just brilliant for, as I said, I would put a drop here and onto the roof of the mouth so it's quickly into the brain. Otherwise, even just sniff from the bottle or put a drop in your hand, rub it together and inhale it. Just really gets it into the brain quickly. And inhaling stuff gets, if you're having emotional issues, and head tension can come from that, inhaling is great because you go to the olfactory nerve and then she takes the chemical that's created there and straight into the glands in our head where our emotions come from. So she's a quick way of getting to the source of the emotional trauma. But also she's great for all things head. So if your head tension comes because you've bumped your head or something like that, frankincense is really great. I also like to put a few drops on my fingers and then just massage it through. I do the same with the past tense, though most of if I get head tension, it usually comes from my upper back and my shoulders. And she just really helps us to, past tense helps us to let go of things from the past. But she's got some marjoram in her. Let me find where she's hiding. This book's past tense. So she has wintergreen, and so that's the oil of surrender, because so sometimes that helps us tune into the emotion that's going on. And lavender's oil of communication, so it often can help us find out why we've got this head tension. Peppermint, great for circulation. Frankincense, cilantro, Roman chamomile, marjoram, basil, and rosemary. Just a brilliant combination. But also remember, past tense is just pure oil. It's not diluted. So if you have sensitive skin, you may want to put some fractionated coconut oil on first and then rub your past tense on. And then eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is, yeah, I love that aroma. Maybe it's just me being an Aussie. So she's great for respiratory, also for skin, especially different ailments there. So respiratory, 1 to 2 drops in a bowl of hot water and use it as a humidifier, because that's the other reason we can have head tension, is because we're a bit stuffed up through here. But also she helps with muscle aches and pains, so 1 or 2 drops in a warm bath, or 2 to 4 drops in a tablespoon of fractionated coconut oil, and get somebody to massage you. Then if you have inflammation, 3 or 4 drops to a tablespoon, and once again massage. She's just, the Aboriginals use eucalyptus leaves to bind wounds, noting its antibacterial, anti-infectious properties. Roll up, roll up. Okay, so back to our wellness pyramid. So I'd love you to comment over here. So what are some other things that you could change in your lifestyle to reduce your type of pain? So Annette, is your pain coming mostly from stress or ailment, say tummy health, or an injury or something that you've had along the way? Also, are you all having 2 or 3 litres of water each day? And then the more active you are, the more water you need as well. But also look at, if your water consumption's not up high enough, add in what were the oils that we had before? Some grapefruit. Was it here? No, I've lost it, wherever it is. Grapefruit's a fabulous one, and lemon. That's lemon was the other one. Lime. But also watermelon or fruits that are juicy, but don't have too many fruits during the only a couple of fruit, because they're high in sugar, which can then, if you've got candida gut, then that the sugar just feeds the candida and makes it worse. So great ones for candida gut are the berries, blueberries, strawberries, that type of thing. So they add fluid to our body. But also, like in age, you see a lot of people can be aged, but they don't look aged, because they'll often have a soup before they eat their mains, or their stir fries have a lot of liquid. So there's other ways of getting water into us, as well as water. Meditation. So some people sort of go, oh, meditation, I haven't got time for that. Well, they're usually the people that need it the most. But one of the simple things you can do, I laugh at Wayne Dyer. He says that, do you commute to work? Do you have any red lights on the way? So while your car's stopped at the red lights, just shut your eyes and take a few deep breaths. The person behind you will let you know when the light's gone green. Or just one of the things we can do is put your hand on your tummy and do some big belly breaths before each meal. That really helps us to calm down. So remember back when, if we're running from those wild animals, we're like this, and we're leaning forward, and that tells the body we're in tension mode. But if you stand up straight and you take deep breaths, you're letting your body know that everything is safe. And if you do that, even just for a couple of minutes, just focus on your breaths, focus on your belly breaths, breathing so your belly extends out and comes back in, then that's going to help you calm. If you do that before meals, then your gut is in a much calmer state before you have your meal, so it's going to help with digestion. But remember, when you're in that calm state, your body floods itself with healing hormones and just helps you to reduce that inflammation as well. Creativity. Do you know that if we don't have creativity in our life, it can manifest as physical issues? So some of you will go, but I don't have any. I'm not creative. Well, occasionally I'll plait my hair. That's a sense of creativity. Rearranging your pantry and getting it nice and tidy is creativity. Cooking a scrumptious meal is creativity. Decorating a cake is creativity. It's not just doing watercolour art like I have, acrylic art like I have behind me. It's just your gardening has been creative. Sitting there just scribbling can be creative. Draw yourself a tree whenever you have a chance, and then take a photo of it, and I can have a look up my special book that tells me what's going on in you by the way that you draw the tree. But it doesn't have to be something that's going to win a prize. It's just letting that creativity out. So just think through. So what's some of the ways that you folks are creative? I know Tracy loves calligraphy. And so who else what's your modus operandi of creativity? Oh, that's yum. That's got kombucha and water. Oh, yep. Tracy loves and painting and drawing. Very good. And that, so don't have to be masterpieces. It's just letting it out, moving it around, creating oils. Great. What else? Who else has got something? Oh, when you say creating oils, you mean creating oil blends? Because I straight went to art and thinking of oil painting. Mowing the lawn. Oh, Kimboto. What did you do? Oh, you sold a painting today. Woohoo, well done. So, Kimboto, when you mow the lawn, do you do it in clover leaves, or it's just because you're going up and down and you just love how it looks afterwards? Oh, and Joe writes, yep, both. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Okay. Songwriting. Ah, very good. Okay. I want to hear some of them or read some of them. Kimboto, it's artwork. I love that. Yeah, I must admit, actually, when I had the caravan park, I would mow the lawn thinking I was driving in the Hardy Ferodo. So that was my creativity, driving around like a lunatic while I mowed the lawn. Okay, so what's on next? So that's it. So in a fortnight's time, because on the weekend we start, I'm going to jump the gun here. On the weekend we start an essential oil study where some of the awesome team have shared oils with they've shared samples with their friends, and they're going to experience oils for 7 days starting from the weekend, and we're covering things like pain and inflammation, sleep, stress, anxiety, and gut health. And so we're going to do another one starting early December. So if you've got friends that you know would like to experience oils, it's a great way. They get to use them for 7 days. All the 4 studies are in a Facebook group. So if they're doing, the bulk of the people are doing stress and anxiety, but they'll get to learn how we use the oils for pain, inflammation, for sleep, for gut health as well. So it's just a brilliant opportunity. And so that's why on the 18th I have Oils Now What, so that they can learn more about that. But there's some great tidbits in there as well, and refreshers, because lots of times we forget what goes on, how we use the different oils. Back to basics is always good. And then on the December 9th, nutrition and supplements. These are our continuing education classes. There's 8 of them, so that people can get in and really learn how it all works. TBA here is, I haven't got the dates because I'm going to have some holidays over Christmas and we haven't solidified those dates yet. So 9 and 4, yeah. So we won't have any more in December, and I've yet to work out when I'm going to start back with these classes in January. But if you stay tuned in the team Facebook group, you will learn that. So that's all for tonight, folks, for there. If any of you want to stay around for another 10 minutes, then I'm going to talk about building your pipeline. But if that's not of interest to you, that is super okay. And I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. I've really enjoyed tonight. So actually, before I go on to there, is there any questions that you would like to ask in the comments before I move on to building with doTERRA? You got to type fast, girls. Holy mackerel. Tracy has 6 pages of notes from this one. That's awesome. Anybody else got questions? Anything that you would like to go back over? Oh. So what's Robbie's nephew's name, please, Tracy? So Tracy just let me know Robbie, her partner's watching football and the nephew's about to score for Queensland. Okay, so no questions coming through. So I'm going to move along to this one, building your doTERRA pipeline. Actually move that up. Dane, okay, okay, awesome. I'll get the boys to look. Okay, so there's 3 types of people that tune into these classes and tune into doTERRA type things. The first type, and that's 85% of the population, just want to live a wellness lifestyle. And so by tuning into doTERRA essential oil, let me just refresh my memory on doTERRA's Facebook group, doTERRA Essential Oils Australia. Then you'll tune into what, different classes that they often run each month. Plus we do this continuing education. So that's a great way for people to learn more about how to incorporate the oils into their life. Plus, when everybody starts their doTERRA journey, we do a wellness consult with them, and what that is a plan. And if it's a while since you've had one done, it's a good idea to do it again, and we can look at your ailments. Oh, this one's a filled out one. So it's basically, we look at your wellness priorities, what solutions you already have, and then we look at the oils and products you already have, and we create a morning, afternoon and evening regime for you to follow. Then we also look at what other wellness choices would support those goals. So for this person here, water, meditation, water intake that use essential oils in their water, meditation with some sandalwood and some yoga. And then we can also plan out the next 3 months worth of orders to help them, just so it's clear and it's all there written down for you. I just like keeping things simple. Then the next group of people are sitting there going, wow, my aunt would really like these. I know my friend needs them. And so they share with just a few, and they get their products paid for. And that's called natural healthcare, free natural healthcare. And I can't remember whether it was month 2 or month 3 of being in doTERRA when I got my products paid for, and they've been paid for ever since. And I've had some just amazing stories from people that I've shared the oils with. A big one is a lady in Mackay. How much has she lost? 80 kilos, because she didn't use the range in doTERRA that can help with her weight loss. What she did was use the oils to dig down, and we did some emotion work, and we dug down to some hurt that had happened to her 20 or 30 years ago. Her first husband died within a year of them getting married, and it was a long-term illness in hospital, and a lot of family squabbling and blaming her, and so she had all this hurt in there. And by dealing with that, then she felt good enough in herself to go off to exercise classes and different things that supported her to lose 80 kilos. That's what I weigh. So she lost one of me. She was carrying one of me around with her. And then there's people like me and Attila and Tracy and Joe that go, I want to build, I want to earn an income, I want to make an impact. And that's the impact part is what I love. I just love helping people. I used to hate it when Lockie was little and I'd see him getting sick and there was nothing I could do about it. Whereas now I can boost his immune system. You know, if one of us wake up vomiting at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I can rub some Digestive on their tummy or their feet, and in no time at all they're feeling better. And that's just such a flippant awesome feeling. I want everybody to experience that, or to have that power, not to feel helpless. I hated feeling helpless. So where are you at the moment? So if you have a traditional job, then you're trading hours for dollars. There's limits on advancements and earnings. You have limited time freedom because you've got to be at work to earn that money, but you're also building somebody else's dream. Or if you're in authentic direct sales, as doTERRA is, you get a true residual income. There's no limits on advancements, earnings. There's freedom to choose your schedule, and you're actually building your dreams or your family's dreams. So that's a bit like this one. So you're hauling buckets, that's trading hours for dollars, or you're building a pipeline, that's your residual income. So there was a guy that was his job in the village, was to carry the buckets of water up from the creek up to the people, and he'd get paid for that. And he sort of thought, oh, hang on, I'm getting a bit over this. What happens if I get sick? What happens when I get old? So in his spare time, he built a pipeline. And it was great when they could turn the tap on, because people had more water than they could if he was carrying it in buckets. And so they used more water, he made more money. But he could make money whether he was there or not. So why doTERRA? The people that started doTERRA had been working for other essential oil companies, and they were not happy with the standard of oils. And that's one thing they're really strong on. And doTERRA's oil is the most tested and therefore the most trusted. And you know, when they started 10, 11 years ago, a lot of them had young kids and babies, and they wanted them to be safe enough to use on their little kids, but also on their grandparents. So actually we went, the 10th million person was enrolled, last month or the month before. And the oils are being used by doctors and in hospitals worldwide. It's the largest essential oil company in the world. Its growth rate was the same as Apple, with $1 billion company in 7 years. And the retention rate is 65%. So of 100 people that start this year, 65% of them are next year are ordering at least once a year, and most of us order every month, whereas the industry average is 13%. It creates partnerships with growers around the world. So that's what I love, that while I'm looking after myself and my family, I'm actually helping the growers out that are on the other side of the world, and a lot of them I'll never get to meet. It's a privately owned company, always has been, and it's debt-free, no outside funding. So there's a lot of security there. So how on earth do we share this with people? Actually, I'm going to modify this slide for future times. I want to put, the first one is making friends. So we make friends and we learn about people, and then they feel comfortable with us and they tell us an ailment. So then we sample them, but we teach them how to use that oil or that supplement at that time. Then when they're happy with that, then they enroll, and then we support them. You don't enroll them and then leave them. That's just being a sleazy salesperson. We're all about service and support. So that's why it's good to be friends with them to start with, because you're going to spend a bit of time with them over the while. So why doTERRA? I did that one. Have I got that there twice? Nope. I'm just jumping all over the place, obviously. So this is a graph showing us. So some people go, well, I just want my products paid for, and that's awesome. So being an elite or a premier earns you somewhere between $3,000 and $1,000 a month, and that's paying for your products. If you want to supplement your income, then that takes a bit longer. Oh, stop clicking around, Lee. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to have a look at something. So the next one is supplementing your income, and then the other ranks are replacing your income. Well, the brain's got into slow mode. Look out. Okay, so what the heck is residual income? Anybody got a great definition for residual income? I've really experienced one this year with one of the team. She was to have an operation. Well, she had an operation last year that didn't quite work, and she was to have it redone early this year. So she's been crook all year long, and she's been earning $200 or $300 a month from her doTERRA income without doing any work. And that, to me, is residual income, that if you do stuff right at the beginning, you're going to have that income continually coming in. So how much does all of this take? So to pay for your product, it's about 3 to 5 hours a week, but it isn't always separate from, it's not a separate segment in your life. I go about my life and come across people, and that's how I end up sampling them. So it's just 3 to 5 hours, but it's incorporated in the rest of my life. Supplementing your income, about 10 to 15 hours a week, because then eventually you'll start doing some classes, so you set aside an hour or so. Then replacing your income takes about 15 to 30 hours a week. So not lots if you're productive. That is the secret. Hang on, go up. So could this work for me? Yes, if you're passionate about oils and you care about people, because it is a people business. It's about us caring about people and having that passion to want to help people. And we have a fabulous system. If you can follow a system and get things done, we have a great setup for helping you achieve that. So what would be the next step if you're you want to share with people or you want to build? Then identify what type of person you are. We'll organise, so let us know. Then we'll organise for you to attend a Business Made Easy presentation. And then we have things such as the daily mentor calls, where there's so much step-by-step that's there for you to follow. So if you just Google dailymentorcalls.com, then you'll see all the steps. But that can be a bit overwhelming because there's so much there. Just chat with me and we'll take you through step-by-step, much easier. So then suddenly you just know it's time to start something new and trust the magic of beginnings. So that's all, folks. So if there's any questions, please write them in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to love and leave you, spend 15 minutes with my family before it's my beauty sleep time. I need more beauty sleep than most of you. Okay, so thanks heaps. Love you lots, and see you in a fortnight if I don't see you beforehand.